Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, good morning. Is everything on, Adam? I thought we created a checklist for him.
He does.
How did that...
Everything is on.
No.
Everything is on and loud.
You just show up 5 minutes before. You know.
Wasn't that how it's supposed to work? Hello, Denise.
Look at everyone. Hi, guys. Happy Monday.
All right, so did anybody do anything amazing this weekend? It was Adam's birthday.
Happy birthday, Adam.
And he did the
Happy
same
birthday.
thing to Nathan that he does to me. He went out and ordered everything on the menu when he took him out to dinner to make sure that he got the most amount of stuff he could at that meal. Is that correct, Adam?
But he didn't do that to Jen and I for his birthday at
No.
all.
I'll
He
have a water and a salad.
He
But when
ordered
it's Nathan
one
or...
roll.
I was civilized with those two.
Oh, okay,
He
I
was.
see.
He was very civilized.
All right, okay. So anybody do anything fun this weekend? Jenny, what'd you do?
What did I do?
Like you already forgot.
That damn dog.
And?
That's it. We still have her.
Okay, all right, well, that's good. Well, hey, you just got to just train that dog.
Yeah, that's what we're. That's
I
what
went
I've
and
been
saw
doing.
Garth Brooks.
And how is that?
Well, I think they said it was the biggest gathering in the history of San Diego. It was insane.
And it was at Petco Park.
Yeah, every seat in the entire stands, all across the entire field. I mean, it was insane. I'm not like a Garth Brooks fan, but it was an amazing spectacle to see that many people inside of one. And I probably saw of the, 60-something thousand people there, I think I saw 4 masks.
Oh.
Probably the whole time. So
And about 20 people from here, I think, from our office.
Yeah, it was crazy, huh? It was crazy.
So did everyone cry at like certain songs? Did everybody sing during certain songs?
He was just pretty excited. He's like, I need this more than you do, because he's just a normal guy like everybody else out there. And
he's
he
like
was
you.
just so excited to be getting out of the house and away from his kids and away from his life and to go do something. Does that make any sense? So he's just like, oh, I need this 100 times more than you do. But he did a good job. I mean, I knew some of
Good.
the songs, so it was cool.
Good.
But so anyway, so we're back to You Are a Badass. Jen, what'd you do this weekend?
Laundry.
Oh, laundry. Okay, she went all out.
All out, baby.
Exciting.
Okay, laundry. All right. Probably a lot of people can relate with that.
Exactly. Most people aren't like you, Chuck. I just need to reiterate that. Most people aren't going all weekend.
And have a maid.
And have a maid. Most of us are at home doing the laundry,
Yeah.
mopping.
Peasant
vacuuming.
things.
Peasant things.
Okay. All right. Well, sorry for you guys. No, I'm totally kidding.
Well, we all aspire.
All
That's
right,
true.
okay.
I aspire to be you, so it's all good.
All right. So, are you ready?
Oh, badass.
You are a badass. Jen, you're a badass. This is,
Thank
if
you.
you guys remember, I stole this from Jen's, how old is she? 12-year-old daughter?
13.
13-year-old daughter.
But she hasn't read it.
No, and it's okay. She can read it now. As long as she skips a few of these sections, she's allowed to read the rest of it because it gets pretty good. But if you remember where we were at last time, which I don't, so it doesn't matter. So we'll
Me
just jump
either.
in.
So let's just pretend.
We'll just
we're gonna
jump right
start.
in. All right, you guys ready? Adam?
I'm super ready.
Okay, do not waste your precious time giving one single crap about what anybody else thinks of you.
Wow.
That's the first section, right? That's this whole chapter is not to give a shit about what people
And
think
only
about
one
you.
person in this room really does that.
Who?
Adam.
It is true.
We talk about his belly. He don't care.
I
He's
just saw
like,
his butt crack a minute
Yeah,
ago.
yeah, exactly. He's got that ridiculous little hat that Nathan made him. You could tell he was like, worst hat anyone's ever seen. But good. But if Nathan's watching, it looked great. But
Nathan had a goal with making him that hat.
He's like, here, no one's ever gonna want him. Wear this. It's like, Jen told me that she secretly slaps butter on her husband or her boyfriend's plate and just keeps him as fat as she
Yeah.
possibly can so that other women
this
won't
true?
be interested. So it is part of the, I think that's what
I'm
that
sure
hat
someone
was.
else does that too.
Yeah. So anyways, so yes, you're right. Adam is the one that does not waste precious time by giving one single crap what anyone else thinks about him. But it does talk about how in our younger years, people's opinions are motivated, especially their teens and their 20s, by our obsession with what other people think of us. What are people going to think of my outfit? What are people going to think about what I'm doing, about what I'm
I
saying?
think it's just as bad now because of Instagram.
You do? Mm-hmm. But it says that as we get older, that begins to trickle away.
A little
And
trickle.
We start to escape that pointless grasp kind of completely.
I don't know. What do you guys think? I think you're lying if you say you don't care.
What other people think? Well, you kind of have to when you're in sales.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I mean, you can't post what Adam posts and expect people to use you to buy homes and stuff.
That's what he
Do
doesn't.
you remember the stuff we used to have to make him take down that he had online on his Instagram accounts?
No.
He had one of he laughed for hours, some dude pushing a like cripple old lady into a pool or
It
something.
was the
and
most hilarious stock photo I had ever seen.
It's not funny though. People were like, "Who's this psycho? Who did you hire? What's happening here?"
I can't believe you hired me with my online photography portfolio I had. I don't
Oh, I can't wait
remember.
to see this.
Oh no, I had to take it
Yeah,
down.
it was bad.
Yeah, it was very inappropriate. Well, whatever. What do you do? I mean,
You were very progressive. You're like, it's his art.
This is
I
art.
did say it was art.
Yeah.
I mean, when really now that I look at it, it was just creepy. But anyways, okay, so here's...
Back to your badass.
Yeah, sorry, back to your back. So the only question you have to consider is this something I want to do or have to do? So every action, if you're trying to kind of like avoid that judgment from everybody, and it is kind of cool. We're going to talk about like how to not get trapped into people's, you know, expectations of them and how we all live these lives like, I wear this jacket because I hope people like it and they think I look good in this jacket, and you're wearing all black because you hope it makes you look thinner, and you know, like all of us are
No,
doing-
it's because somebody said, and you can back me up on this, you really should wear black on camera, and it really should. No, it looks best if it's not loose.
I told you that.
Yes.
So, yeah. So, all right. Well, I'm going to skip ahead. So what other people think about you has nothing to do with you, and it has to do with them. Like how when people are
True.
judgmental and stuff like that.
And mean.
And you know what? We have had some judgmental people, even in the company. We've had some people that are really harsh and really forcing their values and all that sort of stuff. And then you come to find out that these people that are judging you are 10 times worse than you could ever be on how
Totally.
they live their lives. They're full of shit.
And
They're
they act
posers.
holier than thou, and that how they're doing is absolutely right, and you're a heathen, and then you go behind closed doors, and a true good person doesn't act like that to others.
Yeah, boy, there has been a couple people like that. If you want to hit me up afterwards, I'll tell you who it was. They're not here anymore. And they're never welcome back. But it basically says just don't let criticism have any power of you is kind of what
Okay.
they're talking about.
Which is true.
But on the opposite side of that, it says, but even more challenging, don't get caught up in the praise. You know how there's other people in the company that you don't want to say they're doing a good job, you don't want to say they did a good job on this or that because they get out of hand?
Oh.
Do you know what I'm talking about? They start getting cocky and pretentious and thinking they're
Yes.
holier than thou. So it goes both ways.
Well, that's why we keep Adam down.
Yeah, I know. Well, he's...
Guys keep me down.
For sure. We've been working on that. So not getting caught up in praise is a big deal too. I guess that'd be staying humble. But so it's both. We're worried about whether
Yeah.
they think that we don't look good or we're not smart
Yeah.
enough or this or that. And on the other side, if you get too much praise, you start getting cocky and no longer humble and all that. So kind of catch-22. So determining your self-worth on what everyone else thinks, you're handing out the power to them and becoming dependent upon other people's validation. It's kind of what she's talking about.
I agree, 100%.
So here's how you can truly not give a crap what other people think about you. Here is her example of what they should be.
Okay,
Number
I'm
one,
ready.
ask yourself why. Why do you do everything you do? Isn't it weird to think about that though? I mean, like you said, Adam doesn't care. I wish the camera was on Adam. He refuses to turn the camera on himself.
Yeah, because I don't care.
So why are you about to do something? Like, why did you put on what you're wearing today?
Well, we know
Because-
because Chuck told me that this is what
Oh,
you're going to
stop it.
wear.
I know.
Is it to be liked? Is it,
yeah.
You know, every decision you make, is it to put somebody down? Is it to get someone back? Is it to play on some strength? Is it to pay attention? You know, so he just kind of suggests pay attention to everything you do and look at your motives. It's
Okay.
just her suggestion.
No.
So whatever. Next is always do your best. And you had a conversation with somebody. Make sure they're not on.
Oh, God. No one, you never know.
Yeah, yeah, they're on. I can't talk. I'm totally kidding. I'm not. But you know, basically, the next section is always do your best, and it's no matter what you do, no matter what stage you're at, no matter what your job is, always do your best, because when you do things half-assed, you can never move up to the next levels. Oh. You know, so insecurity comes from doing things half-assed. And if you do the best, no matter what it is, whether you work at a car wash, right? I mean, you loved working at the car wash, right, Adam? That's where we got you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it comes from a place of integrity, and no matter what, if you're good at wherever you are, I don't care if it's working at Taco Bell or whatever, you start to become proud of yourself, and it kind of helps you break away from really caring what everybody else thinks, because it starts to build something in yourself, is what she says. Number 3, this is a big one, trust your intuition. And how many people have gotten yourself in trouble by listening to bad advice?
Oh, yeah.
So it says animals avoid predators using intuition. Yet humans will take advice from their drunk before noon neighbor across the street. You know
The
what
predator
I mean? The predator.
who just got out of jail, and we think he's cute.
Oh my gosh, stop it. And we think he's cute. Instead of what deep down you know is best. You know, have you ever made a decision and say, you know what, I knew I should have listened to my gut? You guys have done that with me a few times with people. You guys are like, you know, don't trust that person. This is going to happen. That's going to happen. Whatever. And
Yeah.
I always give people the benefit of the doubt, and then I look like an a-hole.
Yeah.
Because they end up smacking us or stabbing us or doing something. You know. But we have an incredible inner guidance, and we need to tell everyone to shut up and go away, and kind of get alone in yourself with the room and think about it. You know, do people have places that they get away, like when you're really stressed? Is there
Yeah,
something
we
like
know-
when you're really, really stressed? What do you do?
I
Do you have anywhere that
ignore.
you go hide or anything?
I think I just ignore the
bury it
stress.
deep down in there.
I just push it down, push it way down. We know you do.
Well, I mean, but what about you, Jen? Do you have anywhere that you go or that you hide? I mean, you got the kids, you can't hide, but
I like to drive in my car.
just go for a long drive.
Do you put music on, or do you listen to your best friends on the radio?
Yeah.
That's not us. It's
That's what I
your
was
best
gonna
friends.
say.
Music.
You put
Really?
music on?
So when you're stressed out, you just go for a long drive and listen to music.
Yeah, but I don't go, if I'm stressed out, I don't get in the car and drive. I just deal with it. And then usually the next day when I'm driving is when I,
Can clear your head.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's that alone time because you know how we say, like, they say that some of the biggest decisions from some of the most famous people on the planet are always made in the shower because you don't have your phone. You know, you don't have anybody talking to you. It gives you that chance to kind of get that silence in your brain.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where you're just kind of going through and thinking and all that sort of stuff. Do you have a place, Adam? You think?
It used to be the hot tub when I had a gym membership. I had a gym membership just to go sit in the hot tub.
Really?
Yeah.
And that's where you would think and clear
That's
your
my
head?
happy place, yeah.
Anybody else out there?
What?
Sorry.
Oh, this is what's going to happen with you,
It
with
just
you three
sounds
now.
not okay.
What, sitting in the hot tub?
with strangers.
With strangers?
Oh, you meet a lot of interesting people.
I bet you do.
All right, okay. All right.
I want to know what other people think.
Yeah, I mean, Brian.
Daniel Todd.
Brian, do you have a place like when you need to go chill out and, you know, kind of unwind and, you know, I mean, all the transactions, and especially when you're a police officer and, you know, peace officer and all that stuff, like, what would you do to clear your mind and kind of get back in touch with making your own decisions?
Mine's the same with Dan. I jump in my truck and throw some music on and go for a drive.
Awesome. So his was the drive too. And then, looks like I lost a few people. Oh, I've lost everybody here. How about you, Sonia? Well, I know what yours is. I've always known what Sonia's is. It's your run, right? She does a run every morning. And I think that's, and then she'll be talking to me and she's like, Chuck, I was on my run this morning and I was thinking about you. I'm like, I'm dead. You know, she's going to come up with something.
That's where I solve all my problems.
Is it really? I like it. Okay.
Yeah.
And then Leanne said shopping for her, and then Danielle Todd said the bath. I mean, that's
a good one,
because
too.
that's a great place where some kids won't come in,
Oh,
but
if you
some
got
kids
boys.
still do.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Okay. So basically, it just says you just get yourself into that place where you can tap into your inner guidance, your inner intuition. You know. Next one I thought was interesting, and I'm going to ask everybody out there, and I want you to think about this one for a minute. What about if you're trying to make big decisions or trying to get people to judge you or whatever? Who is your role model? And I thought this was interesting because I did this with a couple. Because I had Ryan and a bunch of his Marine buddies and all the people over last night. A whole bunch of them. They all had a redeployment party or home from deployment party. So a mentor, kind of, who would get you clearer and who do you inspire to be? And I thought it was very interesting when you look at people's lives and you say, whose life would you rather have than your own? It was just kind of a little thing we were playing. Whose life? So I want everybody on the call to think about who in their life would you think you would rather have than your own, or at least somebody's life who you envy or you like parts of their life. You know, we started thinking about it, and you're like, well, that person's got a bunch of little kids. I don't think I want that one.
Yeah.
But everybody's
That
going
one's
to be
got
at a
the
different
stress of
place
that
in their
person.
life.
I don't want that.
You know, so
That one has a new puppy. I don't want that.
so what do you think, Adam? Who do you like when you look at somebody's life and go, I'd like to have that life? Or I
My
would,
role model's Dan.
Jen's boyfriend? Well, he's everybody's. I mean, yeah. I mean,
This is just the epitome of masculinity.
really?
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Jen?
Oh, I really right now I can't think of anyone except for maybe Lady Gaga.
I mean, if you want us to say you're not leading us down that path.
No, I'm not. I'm definitely not. Trust me, you don't want this. Yeah, I just thought, so if you look at them, I want to be as happy as Jenny seems. That's pretty funny that she says, as you seem.
That's true. You didn't see me yesterday, but yeah. No.
Well, because I tried to think about that, and I think everybody's at a different place. But so once you figure out who that might be, and I did think of a couple people, I did think of a couple people. And when I did, it says, if you think, what would that person do? How would that person react?
Yes.
What would my hero do if you didn't care about what other people think? And not caring what other people think becomes a muscle is kind of what they suggest. But again, we're in sales.
Yeah, so you have
So it's
to care a little bit.
It's a little tricky. You know, you
That's
have
what's
to
so
do things that
hard.
people relate. But maybe if you didn't care what people think, people would like you more.
Well, we do have someone in our company who decided, wait, I am going to put who I am on Instagram. I'm going to put my feelings. I'm going to put my political views. And she kept kicking ass. So
Yeah.
maybe it is okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Hey,
Yes.
hey, Chuck.
yes, please.
You know what? It goes forever. I mean, I'm sitting here as you said that, was thinking about my grandma who, on her 90th birthday, my mom was helping do her hair and her makeup, and she shakes, and she didn't want people to see her shake because she didn't want people to think she was old.
And
No, I'm just saying it happens to everybody.
Like we still all
Oh,
care.
yeah,
It
no
doesn't
matter how
matter
old you
how
are.
old you are.
Yeah.
yeah, and everybody loves your mom or your grandma. She's a fantastic lady. But
Exactly.
all right, okay. Well, see, so I guess it sometimes it's not age based. You know what I mean? So, but anyways, you look at those temporary role models and you go, okay, how can I kind of do what they would do? And then every single chapter in here ends with love yourself, and that you're not authorized to base your self-worth on what other people think. Like that's really at the end of every single one of these chapters. It ends with love yourself. But the other thing it says is, but you can't miss out on the opportunity to get outside input. And I don't know about you guys, all on this call, you know, but I am crazy about getting as many people's input, and I'm criticized for this, getting as many people's input as possible, and then I'm going to do what I want to do anyway. But you go to people and you try to get their opinion. You know, I mean, that's what life is, right? Especially from those that you know well. So yes, don't care what other people think, but if people are willing to give you constructive criticism and constructive complimenting,
Yeah.
you know, or if you have people really, really close to you telling you you're a hothead, maybe you're a hothead. If you have people telling you on the other side you're a really good listener, maybe you're a listener. So it is important, though, to listen to the feedback from others so that you can at least occasionally correct certain things if there are issues, or have as much information as possible in making a decision. Like if you have a real estate deal, there's a lot of people that will come to me. They'll go to Tom, and they'll go to Margaret, you know, and then they're going to decide how they want to handle that situation, you know,
That makes sense.
on that real estate transaction. So
That makes sense.
So that's kind of cool. But here's the other thing: wouldn't you love to know, Jenny, how other people see you?
You've
And
asked this before.
how different would it be?
I don't know.
No.
Not you. We'll tell you right now. Jen, can you describe how you see Adam?
Do it.
Aw. It's gonna
She
be
look at those. She's got some nice things to say. I can already tell.
But-
I don't know.
all right, but I mean, it is interesting to see how other people see us.
Yeah, I wrote down role model. That's something I'm really going to think about, and I'll put it in the comments later today. I'm going to think about who truly some of my role models are. Like, I know I really don't want the life of that person or that person, and I've come a long way with that for sure. But I'm going to think about
It's always
that.
been in my MO to be a maverick, you know.
Yeah, I
That's
get
why
that.
I'm gay.
That's
I'm
on
not
the
even
TV
gay. I
show.
just did this to make my parents mad. You know, I always go
How'd
against
that
the
work out?
grain. Well, now it's acceptable, so I got to go straight.
Got to do something. Go big or go home. Find something new. Something new to piss them off.
So Sonia, what do you think of the whole role model thing? Do you have role models? Did you have role models, people that you followed along and watched, and you would think back to your decisions that you were going to make in life and try to say, what would they do?
No one comes to mind. I think it's probably a series of people during each stage of my life who influenced me. I thought it was interesting in one of the comments, one of the girls says, I don't envy anybody. And I think there's such a difference between envy and being a role model.
Yeah.
You know, I can't say that I envy anyone either because I have a pretty good life. But there are so many people doing amazing things. And, you know, to be able to sit on the Supreme Court as a woman would be awesome for me because I always wanted to be an attorney and into a judge and that sort of thing. So, you know, following those paths would be interesting. But
Could you imagine
any
Sonia
one
sentencing
person,
you?
I don't
Sorry.
believe so.
Did,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Did you hear what Adam just said, Sonia? Go ahead, Adam.
Could you imagine Sonia sentencing you? Oh
I
my
feel like I could.
goodness.
I feel like
I
you
didn't
do.
want to give him life in prison. But he shouldn't have taken that apple off that table.
Yeah.
Didn't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, I get that though, Sonia. But you know, kind of what you're saying is, you got to take different pieces of people's lives. So my trainer Ira, if I was thinking what would he eat right now,
Oh, yeah.
that's going to be a little different.
Yeah.
What workout would he do? Or if you're looking at somebody who's like Margaret and like what decision would she make if there's a questionable decision that you have
Yeah,
to make?
totally.
Or if you were to look at somebody else and say, you know, who has a great relationship, how would they treat her or him in this scenario? So I think it might just be a lot of people.
But I'm with Christine Rogan that I don't envy anyone else's life because I truly believe this is where we are supposed to be right now. But yes, do I want to aspire and work harder for that little thing? Or like you said, how would so-and-so treat
yeah.
their person or
Right.
whatever?
No,
How
for
could
sure.
I do better at being a wife or things?
For sure, for sure. So, okay, so cool. So the next one is, what are we doing here? This is like, you know, the big existence question, right? She does address that. And the big question is,
I ask myself that every Monday, by the way.
so do we.
I know.
What is Adam doing here? The big question is whether you're able to say a hard yes to the adventure that was planned out for you.
Okay.
Okay, so the big question is whether you are able to say yes to the big adventure that was planned out for you. I thought this was cool. So and we've talked about this before, but when we share what we were brought here on this plane and this planet to give, we're in alignment with our most honest, highest, powerful selves. Do you agree? So everybody knows you're likable, you make people feel good, you're fun, you know, like, so you know that you want to get those things out because you've told me, you know, you know what your superpowers are. And then Adam knows what his superpowers are, right?
Of course.
You like to make people, you like to entertain people, you like to make people laugh, you like to make people happy, right? Jen likes to criticize other people and make fun of them. And
No, she doesn't.
what's it, just me?
No, that's just a you thing. And you put her in that position.
I just sit there and do my job.
Oh,
Hardly.
But every single person is born with unique and valuable gifts to share, right?
100%.
And once we figure out what ours are and decide to start living our lives putting them to use, that's when and only when the real party begins. You agree, right?
Yes.
So if you're unhappy in what you're doing for a living, if you are unhappy in your situation, if you know, it talks about you not being aligned with your gifts. And I remember I was reading a book about, I think it was Anthony Robbins' book, and he was talking about how you can be the richest person in the world. You know, you can be a multimillionaire, but you're still not happy. And you're still not happy because you're not doing the things that you were put here to do. And you're not doing the things that align with your gifts. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying?
Yes.
So you're making a plan to do things that go against what you believe in, you know, so just an interesting
No,
thought.
it is a good thought. And it's also interesting because I was like, so many people don't know what their gifts are or whatever, but it's not up to someone else to tell you what your gift is. You know, you really have to go in and think, wait, what is my gift? And it's okay to say what your gift is.
And
Yeah.
to ask other people because they know.
But then again, you can ask others, but really it's what you feel and what you know to be true. It's
Yeah.
about trusting your own self.
That's true. That's true.
What?
Yeah,
Say
it just says, I mean, I was just kind of thinking, I'm going to go way off topic real quick,
Okay,
but I'm
ready.
reading another book right now,
Uh-oh.
and the guy's name is, I think it's like Walter Wallace or something. And the book I'm reading is called The Science of Getting Rich.
Okay.
Okay, and I'm going to talk about this later, but it's such a cool book, and it's like really like The Cat in the Hat. It's really small, but it's called The Science of Getting Rich.
Okay.
And the whole thing starts out talking about how important it is to have money. Okay, and I'm going to get a little bit off track, but it's going to come back. So it talks about, like, if you really want to live your highest life, like if you want to live a life of intellect, if you want to live a life of being able to be familiar with the arts, to travel and see the world and the adventures that are out there, to really kind of open up your intellect and open up your possibilities and create like that level of art and beauty and things that come across the top of the planet, like you have to have money to do those things, right? But it's kind of conflicting when I hear this a little bit, because I think a lot of us that have our gifts and all the things that we like to do and we want to do and what we're all about, but you sacrifice that for money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's like we're all after money, but once you get that money, hopefully you can do and be the things that you want to be.
Yes.
But I think money really guides us a lot of times into doing the things that we don't always want to do.
Well, you kind of got to. We got to eat. We got to have a house. We got to pay our taxes. We got to do all, and you have to have money to help others a lot of times too.
Yeah. But what if you could align both?
Well, there's a saying in my industry particularly, don't monetize your passions. Because you end up like...
I don't know what I think of that.
Well, you end up being resentful of. You get tired of doing it. You know what I mean?
All of a sudden, you
What's-
don't like it because you have to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Sonia, what do you think about that? Like, do you see that the most successful people in your coaching programs and all that stuff are the people that are using their personalities to tap in and kind of combine that with monetary success?
People most successful are more focused on who they are and what they can do, and their goals are usually more about the gain, more about the self-fulfillment. I think in many cases,
I agree.
people aren't always focused on the money. As a matter of fact, we talk about money every quarter, usually, okay, where are we, what we're doing, what do you need to do to get where you want to go? But it's more about what they can give and fulfilling that inner need of growth, I think, is what really drives a lot of people.
I agree. And I think whenever we do all those whys and whenever we do all the business plannings and the goal settings and stuff, Jenny, I mean, it seems like it never comes back to everybody just wants money.
No.
It never comes back to that. It's always the why. It's always the moment. It's always to take my family on a trip. It's always so I can spend more time with them. It's always
Yeah.
so, all those sorts of things. So,
Chuck, the number one why, when I ask people why they do that, and it seems like everybody wants to help others. That seems to be the
whether it's your kids or
top
your
one.
family or
Yeah.
Yeah,
your
it-
parents.
Yeah, I want to be able to help others. I like helping people. I like making a difference in their lives. These are the things, and it really takes a lot to get down to the true why. We have to dig, but that just seems the common one that flows out automatically with almost everyone's.
Yeah, that's interesting. Okay, so I like that. So here's the next section. Kind of ties in a little bit, Jenny. It says how to get clear on what your calling is. So there's like some steps so that you can figure out
Okay, here
what
we
you're
go.
supposed to
Here
do,
we go.
what you're all about. We've done this before. We've talked
Yeah.
about it before. But I like the first one. It says be the alien. Okay, so here's what I want you all to do, guys. I want you to think about an alien coming down from outer space, floating around, right? And suddenly they swoop down and they inhabit your body. So an alien comes down and they take over Jenny. Okay, they take over
Yeah.
Jen. And they have to look back and say, okay, what person, who is the person that I've inhabited? And who are they and what are they all about? So if somebody were to
Okay.
come down and jump into Jenny's life, who is Jenny? What does she do for fun? What connections does she have? What resources does she have? What opportunities does she have? And kind of gives you a perspective to look at yourself. So, I mean, I'll bet you somebody could come down and take over your body and still you could end up being president of the United States.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? So we all, but the problem is that you have to step outside as an alien to get out of the ruts of the tired old lame excuses and lame habits that we all use on ourselves.
Yes.
Where if somebody else could come down and
Yes.
say, I'm going to take over Chuck Whitehead's body, look what I can do with it.
Yeah.
Not like the schmuck stuff he's doing with it.
Totally.
So I thought that was kind of interesting. So if somebody came down into Jen's body, they'd probably be super stoked. And it kind of comes back to that thing where people say like, you're living the life, your lame life that you're worried about. Most people would pray to be in your shoes.
Totally.
And what they would do
yes.
with it.
Yes, yes.
So
Some Freaky Friday stuff going on.
I know. When I didn't you love that show? I loved all the versions, all of them. Chuck probably doesn't even know Freaky Friday.
I don't know if you're ready.
Oh, Jodie Foster. It was the original one.
Sorry.
Freaky Friday.
Lindsay Lohan.
Anyone?
Oh, Lindsay
Anyone
Lohan
out
and Jodie
there?
Foster?
Raise your hands.
No, they don't
No?
know. So what are you going to do with this body? And I've always thought too, it's like think about this, and I don't know, this is just a weird thought. You guys can tell me if I'm nuts, and probably people are going to start dropping because I'm getting crazy here. But like, think about this: you're playing chess, okay? Because that's all we did all weekend. We had like freaking 30 kids playing chess at my house all weekend, like tournaments.
Sounds
and
like a
stuff,
great
right?
time.
It is fun. Well, there was old fashions and whiskey and a few other things.
Okay.
We played till like 5:30 in the morning.
Oh my
but anyways,
goodness sakins.
So, but imagine this. So you're playing the game. You go 15 moves in there, and then you lose a couple of big players, right? So you lose your queen and you lose a rook or something, right? You could get up and walk away,
Okay.
and then somebody else could walk in, take over the remainder of that game, and kick the shit out of the person who's on the
Okay.
other side. Does that make sense?
Yes. Even though I
So-
know nothing, but I've watched enough movies and TV shows to
Any
understand.
game. It could be
Yes.
Monopoly. You know what I mean? And you're broke, but by the time the game ends, somebody comes in and kicks your ass because this person leaves and the other person comes in. So what it's suggesting is if an alien came in, how they could kick ass and do all those things that we think we can't do by taking over our body.
Isn't that so such a sad thought.
Well, it's interesting though, right, Jen? You think that's interesting?
It is.
I mean, and they would probably jump into Jen's body and they go, okay, what do I have to work with? All right, cool. Got a cool boyfriend. I got a cool kid. I got this. I got that. You know, I got a car. I got that. Okay, so let me see. What can I do? Where do I want to go? What do I want to do? And the problem is we get stuck in these lame ruts and we stop thinking where we could go and what Jenny can do and what Chuck could do and what Adam could do and Jen could do and all of you guys out there.
All y'all.
So that was the first one, number
Okay.
one,
Oh.
be an alien.
Be an alien. I wrote it. Okay.
Number two, take the first step. And it's just basically the one that we always talk about, which is stop waiting and do something. You know what I mean? Like, what makes you happy? No matter how clueless you may feel right now, pay attention to the suggestions and opportunities that suddenly present themselves, you know? So most answers just reveal themselves through doing, not thinking. So take the first step. That just means doing something.
Okay.
Number three, do whatever you're best at. Or sorry, do your best wherever you're at. So once you, and this is what we talked about already, it's
Love the-
possible that you won't land in your dream situation right away. So for those of you guys out there that are not in your dream situation right now, it's going to come.
Yeah, it's okay. It's called baby steps. And it's also, right now you may have kids at home. You may have all these things. Be patient. Do your steps. Be happy where you are, but do steps to take it further, I think.
And she says do your best wherever you're at. She calls them stepping stones.
Okay.
Where you're basically taking your next stepping stone to where you're going
Yeah.
to the next thing. Keep
Yeah.
moving forward. Appreciate where you are for now.
Yes.
And you know, it suggests don't be impatient about your current life, and don't be grouchy about your current life because, like I was saying before, like there are people that would die to have the life you're living right now. So, you know, don't be
I
impatient.
mean, if you're
It's gonna
absolutely
happen.
miserable and you're in a horrible situation, yes, by all means, take
But I do
steps to
that.
go forward.
Does anybody else out there do that?
What?
I get really down on myself because I feel like I've never really accomplished
You
anything.
do,
and I
and
beat
it's
myself up all
really
the time. And you're
sad.
like, does anybody else have that? Like, are you a little disappointed? You're like, damn, I should be doing so much more.
No.
But instead,
Nope.
I flipped on Yellowstone
Not
and
at
watched
all.
4 hours of it.
No, S3, no.
Anybody else out there?
Anyone else out there?
Anybody?
Raise your hand.
No? All right. Thank you, Lisa Wilson. That's very nice. Yes, well, you and I are going to talk today, Jessica. But anyways, all right. So let's go to number 4. Don't reinvent the wheel. Look at what other people are doing. I think this is the best one. Look at what other people are doing. And I know this sounds terrible. And whose life makes you jealous. There's nothing wrong. Oh, and I did think of a couple people, by the way.
Okay.
I did come up with a couple people
Okay.
that there are pieces of their life that I would love to have.
Okay.
And it's not that I'm being jealous or envious or anything.
Right.
I want to emulate that.
Okay, I accept
You know, and
that.
I came up with a couple of people. One of them I play golf with. If you think about it, that guy's got his shit together. You know what I'm saying? You know who I want to talk about.
Dan,
so.
right?
No. Him too. He's got Jen, so he's got, you know, the world by the balls. That's true. So, who makes you jealous? What things are people doing that you would love to do? And so of all the people you know, who do you think's the coolest person ever? I'm trying to rephrase this because you're still not coming up with anybody. Somebody said their mom because she was fearless. I like that one. But the coolest person ever. And if you really can hang out with them, you don't have to start from scratch. They can help you get to where you want to go right away. So don't reinvent the wheel. See who you can copy. And so he asked this question, what turns you on? You know, is it a solid routine? Is it no routine? Is it working alone? Is it working in a group? Is it working naked? This is what she said, not me. Is it working inside? Is it working outside? Is it working with your hands, your eyes, your ears? Working with animals? Working with your spouse? What is it? You know, and what things fire you up? So, you know, that's it. Number 5. Don't get caught up in the Thunderbolt hype. I like this one.
Okay.
So a lot of people, most people, don't necessarily know what their path is and what they want to do and why they're here and all that sort of stuff. They're still looking for it, right? What are their talents, all that.
Yeah.
So it says, don't get caught up in the Thunderbolt hype. There's this misconception that it's all going to come to me. I'm meant to be a professional baseball player. There it is.
There it is. I'm
that-
supposed to be a Rams cheerleader at 52.
Right?
It'll be great.
So it's not, and it's, you know, it just says that it's going to come slowly, and you're going to figure it out along the way. And more people spend their lives wandering around, looking under rocks and behind trees for who they are, than
Yeah.
this thunderbolt coming down and saying, "This is what I want to do." You know, so. And for those of you guys that don't know exactly what you want to do, don't worry. There's been lots of multiple things throughout your life that have led you to where you are.
Yeah.
Whether it's your kids, or raising them, or going to a baseball game, or watching them succeed, or whatever it may be. So as we evolve with age, certain things will become more appealing to you and resonate with you more.
And we live so long now, hopefully, you know, that you are going to have multiple lives, multiple careers, multiple everythings.
I would agree with that.
That's what's so great about being alive now.
Look at yourself now and look at yourself 10 years ago. You were in a completely different world, right?
I had to think. I was 42. Oh yeah, Jen and I almost were coming here.
Really?
Murphy and I were almost here.
Really? So you were living in a different city. You
Yeah.
were working in a different place. You had a different role. I mean, it's just now all of a sudden.
So stressed.
Your kids were still in their
Home.
20s.
Oh, yeah, kids are, oh, ow.
One in the
ooh.
service. You know, I mean, very
Yeah.
different world.
Tough stuff. Yeah.
So number 6 is listen to your intuition, and it says try. And I'll bet you most people, especially moms, Jen, this is other than your drive. Listen to your intuition. It says try to spend 5 minutes with yourself every day. I feel like a lot of the moms with a lot of kids and stuff, it's hard for you to find 5 minutes.
Totally.
That's why I mean, just think about this. The highlight of Jen's day is her car ride
Oh, it's her favorite. And
the
she
grocery
visits
store.
with her.
or the grocery store
I
when you're
love
by
the
yourself.
grocery store. Yeah.
I
Really.
hate grocery shopping, but it's
But you're
But you're alone.
Yeah. So, it says try to spend 5 minutes, with yourself every day. We spend the vast majority of our life moving full speed ahead, like physically, mentally, bulldozing past the answers, all that stuff. So give yourself some time alone. I
Yeah.
thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, very cool.
Next one was follow your fantasies.
Okay.
Jump in the deep end and follow your fantasies. What do you
Except for you.
What? Why'd you point at me?
So what do you fantasize about when you're staring out the window of a train, when you're going to bed at night, when you're driving and not talking in a vehicle? Like what sorts of things cross your mind, Or maybe it's when you pretend to listen to someone, like you guys, do.
I don't like time by myself because my inner voice scares me.
Your inner voice scares us all, dude. So, but if you were to look at it, following your fantasies, is it on stage, doing stand-up comedy? Is it, surrounding yourself with beautiful children and a happiest home ever? Is it building an orphanage? Is, you have to kind of be patient too to develop what your fantasies are. And fantasies really kind of reveal what they think an awesome life would look like. So what would an awesome life look like for you?
I like how Danielle Todd said a hot man.
That's her fantasy?
Sorry, Danielle, I'm taken. don't get it. But Adam's available. No, he's not.
No, he's not. None of them.
Oh, okay. But
I like it.
our fantasies are our realities in an excuse-free world, right? What's the perfect life for you?
my life right now.
You have the perfect life? Well, stop complaining about the car. All you get is a car ride then.
Yeah, I have my moments.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but we're so busy, and I like this one. You like this one. First, we're mortified what people think.
Mm-hmm.
So it could be, like I always wanted to sing on Broadway. I don't, but I'm saying somebody else maybe does.
Yeah, if I wasn't tone deaf, heck
But
yeah.
they think it's totally stupid, and they don't want to do it because people are going to think I'm stupid and it's corny and it's this and it's that. And you're just not clear on what people really want to be. So
Do people really judge people's dreams like that?
Of course.
Yeah?
Yeah. But it's, it's like what Cat Williams says. You need haters.
See,
You may talk all this smack on me, but my hair is luxurious.
yeah. It is luxurious.
I'd say the only time I ever really saw my dad get upset was my grandma was over at the house and I was like 15 and I told her I wanted to be president, and she went off about, give up on that, you're never going to be president, you're just lowly, blah 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 blah. He lit her up like the 4th of July. You know what I mean? So,
That's
but
awesome.
I remember that. You'll never be president. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just just is what it is. So unfortunately, we just get mortified what people think and we change our plans. So okay, let's see. The next thing, I don't know. Does anybody have any feedback on that? People really can discourage you if you're not careful. Just one little comment. I remember Sonia talking last time about she wanted to be a lawyer, and I don't remember who she said it, whether it's her grandpa or dad or somebody, talked her right out of it, told her that you need to go do this or that or the other or whatever. You know what I mean? Do you remember that?
I do remember.
And so we just
that.
gotta kind of be careful about those other people around us.
Yeah. And I know a lot of people on this call right now, they do other careers while they're doing this, or a lot of them stopped careers to do this. That's huge.
Yeah.
It's scary. It's a big jump.
Talk about
well,
that,
almost
yeah.
all of us did.
Yeah,
We worked 2 jobs while we, were selling homes for a while.
that's the truth. That's the truth. So there was a whole nother chapter on meditation. I don't know if you want me to bring up meditation again or not, or I could rip through it really fast.
No,
Sure.
bring it.
Yes,
Oh.
please, Sonia.
Jack, before you move on, so much of this is really great stuff. But what comes to mind also is what holds us back from doing these 7 things. And I just noted a lot of times we don't go forward because of fear or the lack of safety. We're not in a comfortable spot if we go through that door that's open. We don't know what's on the other side. So fear or the lack of safety will hold us back. The other is we do think about what others think. A lot of people will not do something, will not dress a certain way, will not change where they live because of what others will think about them. And then the other thing is circumstances that happen to us throughout the life. I just read, I'm not sure who said they wanted to be a dancer, but they hurt their back, and so they had to change. The circumstances of life will also change your pattern. But if you can focus on those 7 items, you can find your place in life. You just be aware what's holding you back.
Right, and it's and that's I know this is not a big pitch for Sonia, but I think you're pretty good, Sonia, about making sure that people are doing and chasing after what they want to. It's nice to have somebody in your ear telling you can and go ahead and do it and whatever. Whether you're Michael Wysocki wanting to, what is that, Dungeons and Dragons or whatever, and he goes to all that stuff and he loves all that stuff, but that's what makes him happy. You know what I mean? And people might make fun of that, but it's super cool.
They shouldn't.
You know what I mean?
Whatever you do and you love to do, as long as it's not hurting someone else.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and that's definitely the truth. So, but it does suggest, and I just wanted you to know, because I told you I was going to do this. I started my diary. And I started doing it 1 minute on my camera every day. So in my phone, I created a folder that is, and I do it right about 3 o'clock every day of what's happening today. I go and I try to keep it under a minute.
Okay.
Business, personal, health, and I just boom hit through all those things just so that someday I can look back and look at them.
It's a video.
It's a video.
And how are you
one?
feeling?
What's that?
Can we see one?
Yeah. Show us.
Oh no,
Yes.
it's
Show us
a little too
yesterday.
Do
personal.
you say, "Dear diary"?
Dear diary.
No, I can't show you guys. But
Are you there? God, it's me, Margaret.
well, I don't have it down yet. You know what I mean? Like I got to figure out like what's the best way to do it and what's going to be the most effective way to do it. But it's funny, like when you look at Thomas Jefferson and Ben Franklin and some of the greats of all times, they all had diaries because that's how they kept track of their thoughts and who they were,
True.
what they were doing, and where they wanted to go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I was thinking maybe that would be a helpful thing for us.
Yes.
Does anybody out there keep a diary, by the way?
Or you may call it a journal.
Diary, journal, video log. Looks like Lynn does. A few people, and I don't know, even Sonia, like I was going through some really tough stuff about 7-8 years ago. And Sonia used to always tell me, write this down right now. I never want you to forget how you feel so that you can have a life lesson for this. And I thought that was really cool. And I have referred back to that before. Or even if you're going through a breakup, you can refer back and remember as to why or whatever, because, it just keeps you on track.
After the movie Notebook came out, my mom started keeping a journal. And so like when she stays or whatever, we're on vacation, she always writes in it. And we just all always joke, oh my goodness, after she passes, and we're going to really find out what she thinks about all of us.
That's really funny. Well, and you might find she's a completely different person than you think she is.
Oh, Yeah.
So
I do want you to talk about meditation though, because I really feel that is something I'm supposed to be doing. Because they say what you don't want is maybe what you need.
I'm going to rifle through it because I do think we all need that time, and everybody on this call needs that time. Yeah, everybody needs it. So number 10 is meditation, chapter 10, and it says you're never. Can you mute that person for me, Jen? So you're never alone or helpless. It's the force that guides the stars also guides you, is what it says.
Yeah, I like that.
If you recall from last week, they call God, the universe, all that source energy in the book. It's called source energy. So by sitting down quietly and relaxing, getting yourself into a comfortable position, all that stuff, and I'm going to go fast, it brings you to the present moment. If you were to stop and just breathe, it brings you to the present moment. It raises your frequency up and lets ideas begin to flow. It relaxes you. It relieves stress. And I think no one can deny this happens. It strengthens your intuition and ability to focus. It allows you to hear your inner voice more clearly, and kind of lightens your load a little bit and puts you in a good mood, and it helps you love yourself. So here's what it says you need to do. Set up in a comfortable chair, sit up straight, relax your jaw and face, close your eyes and try not to fall asleep, or gaze off. And it says to focus on a spot. Or to focus on your breathing.
And that's what Janie was saying when she first started.
Yeah, and it kind of releases any thought, and that's basically it. Is just sitting there and being quiet and focusing on a spot and letting your mind go. She suggested 6 things that she really likes that helped her a lot. Number 1 is set a timer.
Okay.
So she says set the timer off to the side. So if you're going to do it for 10 minutes, set the timer, set it off, because otherwise you're focused. Like, how long has it been? Has it been 15 minutes?
Totally.
So number 1 is setting a timer and not staring at the clock. Okay. Number 2, her favorite thing is to light a candle and focus on that flame. So that helps her to clear her mind and focus on it. Number 3, she says, imagine a light shining down from the heavens on your body and kind of emanating from you. Number 4 was using a mantra. So, and what she means is repeating something. It could be like, thank you, or yes, or om, or whatever. And it's corny and we laugh about it.
No, I'm not
but,
laughing.
But that's it. Repeat something like thank you, or yes, or om. And it says try to do it first thing in the morning because the distractions of the day will not allow you to do it. And hey, you know what? At 2 o'clock, guys, go try to escape for 15 minutes and see how that goes. Good luck. And then, if you can, when your mind is clear, think about a problem that you're having in your life and try to think it through. And that's her 6 keys. So set a timer, focus on a candle, imagine a light shining down from the sky, repeat something, some form of a mantra, do it first thing in the morning away from distractions, and try to figure out that one big problem that you need to figure out for that day. So is that helpful?
Oh, yeah, I like you.
Chapter 11 is Your Brain is Your Bitch.
Oh,
Okay, that's what she calls this one.
okay.
So she says, notice the genius of the universe, right? The materials, the jackets, the coffees, the food, the phones, like everything, the way the whole amazing setup that we have is. And basically it's flabbergasting. So in other words, source energy is amazing. And our thoughts are ridiculously powerful, and they're the most powerful things that we have. So we all have created the lives that we have now, where we exist, and we have the power to change it. So basically, that's what she's saying, is your brain is your bitch. You just have to control it, which of course we all know that, but good luck.
Right.
Good
Yeah.
luck. So ways to show your brain who's driving. If you ask for things, it's given, right? The, what do we call that? The law of attraction?
Oh, yes,
So think
yes.
about it.
Oh, okay. I get what you're saying now.
Act as if, put yourself, fake it till you make it type thing. Stay open to opportunities, live, eat, and sleep your vision. Upgrade your environment, new furniture, get rid of clutter, start increasing, your frequency to the universe. Just telling you what she says.
No,
She's really
I'm
big
all
on
in.
vision boards. Really big on vision boards.
Oh, Minifee's doing a vision board Wednesday.
Oh, are they really? Okay, so I want you all to think about this. A horse wearing red lipstick.
A horse? Who? A horse? A horse. Horse.
Horse.
Horse.
Jesus, Jenny.
It's Monday.
All right. So, but think about that. Are you guys all in your mind seeing a horse with red lipstick now?
Yes.
Isn't that funny? So, now that you're all thinking about it, or an infinity pool with a house in Mexico. In a house in Mexico. So cut out pictures and places, and we all know this. I've seen the Zings do it. I've seen many, many people do it. It just creates insane results if you post it and put it up. And you know what? Canyon Lake did a good job with that. Bunch of them. I think it was Leanne, and boy, their vision boards all over the place, and they're so cool. And she calls it a craft day with God. You're doing a craft day with God.
Who did that? Who called it that?
The author.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's funny.
And then, of course,
Craft day with God.
surround yourself with people who, think the way you want to think. Not pessimists and tweakers and freak outers and, all these sorts of people. But stay away from people with tiny minds and tiny thoughts, and hang out with people that make you feel like you can leap tall buildings in a single bound.
Yes. Yeah, totally.
She says she has her vision board on PowerPoint to music. I like that. Okay, so the problem is, as we get older, we stop chasing, according to her, we stop chasing things with the fervor we had when we were young. Do you agree with that?
Yep.
You do? Mm-hmm. We start to get a little bit more complacent. Mm-hmm. Would you like to talk about that, Adam?
Yeah, share yours and then I'm...
Oh, no, you just sort of accept, well, I'm 35, this is just the way it's going to go now.
I disagree, but maybe it's because you have chosen not to have children. Because for me...
Well, I can't have children. But
You can have as many children as you want. You can't give birth.
Yeah. Yet.
Well, maybe you
Yet.
could. I don't know. But...
Brett Murray says, what a joke. Adam, 35 is just a kid.
Exactly.
Not making
That's
excuses.
what
Thank you, Brett.
I think. It's just, no.
So the problem is that people, as they get older, they stop chasing the dream, according to this, with the same fervor. But wiser, older people, they've just gone, and now they have grown-up versions of getting things done. And they believe that getting older means not having fun anymore. And we're waking up to the feeling about, and somehow we got to get back to life being excited, and it can be fun, and get out there and have fun.
I think that's you. You don't think
I'm having fun anymore?
No, you're scared that getting old means you're not. Because you always say to me, oh, look how early you go to bed. I'm like, no, because I'm having fun.
Jenny has supper at 3 and is in bed by 6, and she calls it supper.
My mom calls it supper.
She's getting to, I don't want that, all right? You're only 3 years older than me, so
I know.
you're leading the charge for me, and that means I'm going to be going to bed at 6.
But you're going to get up at 4 and have fun in the morning.
That sounds really fun.
See?
All right, Jen, 4 sound fun to you?
You guys have Will late. She has kids at home. It's totally different.
Yeah.
It's a different set of time.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, okay.
Well, you said the funniest thing to me. I got a dog, and you're like, you just screwed up your life. What?
Well, your adventures have stopped.
You just added all this chaos to your life, and you screwed it up. And I'm like, what? It's a dog. You know.
Yeah, I agree with Chuck. She's precious, and Arthur's precious, but
Yeah, but like
Whew, it's
Chuck
a
lives a
different-
life. I remember that one time he just got up and went to Israel. Like
Yeah,
Chuck
remember
likes-
that time?
Yeah, your priorities are far different than us old ladies over here. So
All right, I'm sorry.
we enjoy our old lady
yeah.
lives.
We like our Matlock and then our early bedtimes.
And maybe Murder, She Wrote if there's time.
Don't go crazy though. Okay.
All right, okay. This is the people I'm surrounded with. I'm going to go back to look who you surround yourself with. Let me go back. All right, so, but there used to be time, and it still is. I think it's all about having fun. It's just our definition of fun changes. And you do love your life, right? And Jen does love her life. Do you like your life, Adam?
Yeah, it's all right.
Okay, good. So that's nice. When you can't think of anybody that you would rather emulate than your own life, you're doing something right.
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 So that's what I was kind of thinking. It's all okay.
All right, so the next one is give and let give. Okay, that's the next section. And it's kind of taking, your fear and replacing it with gratitude and surrendering to the flow of life is what she
Okay,
talks about.
okay.
So get rid of fear and insecurities and all that
Okay.
stuff and talk about gratitude. And I'm always interested in gratitude because people are so hooked on it. Do you agree? People are, it's gratitude, gratitude.
It's
My whole life
just a
changed,
new
gratitude.
thing the past 10 years, I feel
Yeah,
like.
it's like a right now. So, and it just talks about kind of giving and receiving and being happy with that. And it says, pick a charity and be consistent every month. Yes, I like that, Lynn. And you know what? I learned this from Ira, and I'm sure, do you remember this, Jen? If somebody pays you a compliment, the best thing you can possibly say is thank you.
You need to say who Ira is. A lot of people-
Ira's a personal trainer that he's trained Jen's mom, and he's trained Jen, and Shirley Wood, just so many people within the company, the Wades and all kinds of people, Duffy, and he's just a retired Marine, 70 years old, that looks like Conan the Barbarian, was Mr. Armed Forces on the cover of Flex magazine, and he's just one of those guys that tries to make you stand up straight, be proud, and if somebody pays you a compliment, say thank you.
Okay.
Don't say, you look like you're losing weight. Well, I still got a fat ass. No, the proper answer is thank you. I appreciate
you.
that. Just things like that.
Yeah.
I'd be grateful if I had a fat ass.
Oh God. All right. So first thing it says to show gratitude is pick a charity and give to them consistently. Give one of your favorite things away to someone who would totally love it
Oh.
without letting them know.
Wait.
Take one of your favorite things and give it to somebody, and don't
How
let
would
them
they-
know you gave it to them.
But they would know.
That-
Wait. Can we go buy them a new one, or we're giving them a used?
You're giving them yours.
Mine.
Yeah. It'd be like, who knows what that might be.
The look on your face, Almer.
Thanks, Danielle. So that's just him, just that throwing it out there.
Okay. No, I like the thought.
Number 3, leave a bigger tip than you normally would.
Oh yeah. Heck
Number
yeah.
4, when someone is being snarky, raise them up and give them love and tell them how great they are when they're being an ass. All right?
Here we go.
Number 5, smile, compliment, and crack people up as often as possible. I like that one. Smile, compliment, and crack people up as often as possible.
Smile and compliment.
And crack people up. Number 6, say yes to invitations you would not normally say yes to. I'm doing that.
You always do that.
I went to a friggin' concert. I went over, last week, somebody invited me somewhere that I thought would be the most uncomfortable thing in the world, but guess what? I went, and I'm glad I did. So I wish I could
good.
tell that story.
I kind of want to know.
I bet you do. So it gives people the opportunity to give to you. So if somebody invites you to their house, think about how nice that is that they're inviting you. They want to give to you, and they
Yeah.
want to let you know they appreciate you, and they want you to
Yes.
have good to know. You always say no to any time anyone invites you anywhere, but think how nice it would be for them to be able to say, I appreciate you here, have a
And I
glass of wine.
want to
Thanks for hanging out
go.
here
No,
for an
but
hour.
you have to have supper. It's cool. We
I
get it.
want to go.
You don't want to go. You are, anybody
No,
invites Jenny anywhere, she's not going. She's going to go turn on Netflix and watch 1893 for 5 hours instead.
1890.
I think it's 1883.
Whatever.
And it's on it's not even on Netflix, otherwise I'd watch it.
But it's true. You're one of those people
I
that do not go
know.
to anything you're invited to. The complete opposite of what we talk about. But I still love you. It's
know.
okay. All right.
Why?
So, you're a homebody.
I love my home.
And it could be Jeremy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's just one of the suggestions. So, but if somebody invites you, it really is a gift if somebody invites you somewhere.
It is.
I mean, you
It
like spit on them.
is.
But if they're trying to invite you somewhere It means they really want to spend time with you and show gratitude to you, Jenny, or to anybody on this call, right? So gratitude, the gateway drug to awesomeness. Ooh, look how Jenny's all like,
I know, I'm so upset.
in retrospect. All right, so when you're grateful, fear disappears and abundance appears. So this is back, we're still with gratitude.
Okay.
So I like this one. Think about how it feels when you really thank someone for doing something nice for you. Mm-hmm. You get to feel good a second time. Not only did somebody do something nice for you, like, oh my God, this is great, but when you get to thank them like this means so much, you get it twice by thanking them back. Isn't that kind of cool? Thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
So gratitude is kind of informs the universe that you know what you desire is already out there and puts you in the right frequency to receive it and just creates a better, and there's a whole discussion in here, Adam, about the parking spot. 2 pages on
You
willing
can create
the
it,
parking
right?
spot. Yes.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, and how it's about being thankful for the spot that's about to open up right there, and it happens. He
Yep.
disagrees, but that's okay.
Bless his heart.
I know.
Bless my heart.
What do you think, Sonia? I mean, what do you think about the power of gratitude? You think it's important? Do you think it's real? Do you will parking?
Absolutely.
Do you will parking spots? Can you clear up Adam with that one?
I do, but it doesn't always happen, I must say, so I must not be willing it strong enough. But I do believe that if you put it out there, you can find it. It will find you. So
True story.
Yeah.
You know,
True story.
Being
Mary Long,
grateful is amazing too.
Go ahead, Jenny.
Mary Long is on, and she's showing her beautiful face. And I got to spend some time with her doing kickoff, and I really love to hear what her thoughts are because I just think she's something.
She has a great attitude all the time, 100% of the time. I mean, we don't live with her, so we don't know 100% of the time. But what's your thoughts on gratitude, Mary? Is she on? Maybe she's got.
Yep.
Sorry, I had to unmute you.
What do you think?
I totally believe in, the power of, positive law of attraction. So all of those things resonate well with me because if you put it out there, it does come back to you.
One of the things for you guys that don't know Mary's a super stud. She's been a top 10er forever. I mean, she is probably one of the best agents in the company consistently year after year after year. Brett Murray just said Mary's the queen of sharing gratitude. But she's always so positive, and I can't remember the last time I saw her cranky. Do you get cranky, Mary?
I do. I like everybody. Sure.
All right.
I mean, if things go your way, of course.
I mean, and how do you roll with the punches? Because you've had some trials and tribulations over the last year, right? How do you roll with those punches?
And I think more than anything, I want to say where I get cranky is like with my husband. If his attitude's negative, I just avoid him. I leave, go silent, whatever to avoid conflict because, I don't like to absorb that negative energy.
For sure. No, that makes sense.
That's so good. See, that's why I
But
wanted
it's
Mary
true,
to tell
especially
us.
if you're like an empath. You can't be around people that are, when they are negative, it makes me negative. I feel sorry for people, So I have like a whole nother section that was my favorite
I'm
section. I'm so
sorry.
sad we're not going to make it. So
Next week.
Here's the last thing she says about practicing gratitude. And this is an interesting thought. She says, it says to your thank you notes. And I always think of thank you notes as writing a thank you note, but she says, write down 10 things at the end of the day that you are grateful for that happened that day. It could be my garden bloomed. It could be that I made friends with the a-hole neighbor. It could be anything at all that happened. That my son got in an accident, but he's fine. Somebody got engaged. It's somebody's birthday. But it is kind of cool. I thought that was cool to write down 10 things that you're grateful and thankful for at the end of every day.
I like it.
So the whole next portion is called, and we're going to skip it, but it's called Forgive or Fester, and I love it. I really like this section.
We'll do it Monday.
We'll get back to it next week. But any other final comments from anybody out there, guys? Anybody?
We have our in-office meetings.
We have our in-office meetings this week, right? So Tuesday, Marietta, Wednesday, Menifee, Thursday, Canyon Lake. So everybody clean up your cubes because we're also going to be doing a Matterport and all that stuff. So all you lenders out there too on the call, everybody, we are back in the offices this week, 9 a.m.
Rolling dice.
We are rolling dice, so we're going to be handing out a ton of, we need to talk about that, huh? Let everybody know. They'll show up for the cash and food.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fun.
Rolling dice. And then we got Teresa on. And
Yay,
Teresa, how many properties
Teresa.
do we got today to talk about?
We have maybe 13. I got a couple
Nice.
of maybes anyway, but at least 11. But Chuck, I wanted to say about that law of attraction and the parking space.
Yes.
I totally believe in that. But just because you don't get the parking space, and maybe that's not right for you right then. Maybe the universe has some other plan, and I was meant to park 10 spaces back and walk.
Yep.
And yeah, that front one, but just because I didn't get it doesn't mean that's not what the universe had in mind for me.
I love that.
Yep.
Thank you,
That's my
Teresa.
girl.
And Teresa, we are going to turn it over to you, and it is time for
Yay.
Property Pitch. Thank you, Teresa, and you're on.
You're welcome. Okay, guys.